Hi guys, and in this video I'm going to share with you how to exercise for losing weight. And I think you might be surprised by the answer, and for a large part is counter to what most people are doing. And stick around to the end where I share what you can do today to stand more chance of losing weight and keeping it off. I used to see it every day in January. The gym I was working in, new members would come in wanting to lose weight, and for a good hour, 5 days a week, they'd slaughter themselves. 20 minutes on the treadmill, 15 minutes on the rower, 20 minutes ab work, and at the end a bit of backside work. They'd walk out with their t-shirt wetter than a rain-soaked umbrella. Fast forward a month and they'd be gone. There is a common train of thought that to lose weight, you have to push yourself to high levels of exertion. And if you're not, then successful weight loss is merely a pipe dream. Well, I'm here to tell you that this is not true. The exercise approach people take when losing weight is not the right sustainable approach. And in this video, I'll tell you why and what to do instead. So in the last 10 years, the go-to style of exercise to lose weight has been high intensity interval training, or HIIT for short. An example of this might be Tabata, which is 20 seconds intense exercise followed by 20 seconds rest for 8 rounds, or maybe a circuit of squats, kettlebell swings and press-ups. The benefit of these types of routines is that they are short and intense, meaning they require less time compared to committing to 60 minutes of cardio 3 days a week, for example. Also, there have been a number of positive research to show that this type of exercise format is successful helping an individual lose weight. One study found after 24 weeks, HIIT training cut more body fat compared to steady state cardio. Another compared 20 minutes of intense cycling intervals with 40 minutes of steady state cardio over 15 weeks, and found the 20-minute group lost up to 2.5 kilos more fat than the 40-minute group. So with success like this, you may be thinking, Aaron, it's a no-brainer, HIIT training and it is. It doesn't require much time, it requires little to no equipment, and it's been shown to work. And I'd agree with you, but there are 3 factors that can put the kibosh on this magical parade. 1, we have a habit of engaging in compensatory behavior. 2, what you eat is far more important than in the initial stages than exercise. And 3, we tend to not have an exercise problem, but a chronic physical inactivity problem. So let me explain, and let's tackle the first one. A common mistake people make when losing weight is honing their attention on one particular area at the mercy of everything else. It's like having a problem with your car and just buying new wheels. The new wheels will look great, but if the problem is also the clutch and the handbrake, you're still going to have a problem. And so, when you're losing weight, exercise is just one component, but it has to fit in with the other parts of the system, namely your lifestyle, your eating, your psychology, and your physical activity in everyday life. As a result, if you see yourself hard at it, sweating profusely as you finish a 20-minute high-intensity session, what might be the next step? Could it be a treat for the hard work you've done? Possibly something high in sugar, great tasting, high calorie? Don't kick yourself, plenty do it. I was always curious why the cafes of all the leisure centres I went to looked like any other cafes. Sweets, crisps, cakes lining the till area. Why? Because after a hard gym session, the common pattern is to treat yourself. Now the problem with this is twofold. We are horrendously bad at determining how many calories we've burned during an exercise and frequently overestimate what we eat. One study found we overestimate how many calories we burn in exercise by up to a whopping 400%. We engage in a phenomenon called compensatory behavior as a result of increased exercise. This can include moving less during the day, either because you feel tired or you haven't thought about physical activity in the day, or inadvertently eating more because you are exercising more. The exercise ends up being the justification for eating more. In one analysis of 700 weight loss studies, they found those that focused solely on diet lost an average 23 pounds over 15 weeks. Those who had just focused on exercise alone lost on average only 6 pounds. Whilst it didn't say it in the analysis, it is likely that compensatory behaviour had a part in the lower levels of weight loss. And this brings us to the second part. Exercise isn't the most important part in the weight loss phase. It is what you eat. As it showed in the previous study I highlighted, what you eat is far bigger importance than the level of intensity in your exercise. If you are in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight unless there is a medical issue. But it is also the most reluctant area that people want to change. You like eating, we all do. Most of you watching this video will be living in a food abundant environment. Food is everywhere, and for processed food like cake, chocolates and crisps, it has been specifically designed with the right formula of fat, salt and sugar to have you wanting more. Which is why I tell my clients not to eliminate anything. It would just make these foods more taboo and have you wanting them more. But if you want to lose weight, you have to get into a calorie deficit, and you will have more success reducing your calorie intake than trying to increase your activity output through exercise intensity. And the third problem, when overweight, we tend not to have an exercise problem. We have a physical inactivity problem. You see, exercise is just one form of energy output. There are actually three others: your metabolic rate, the thermic effect of food, which is the energy required to digest your food, and then there's non-exercise activity thermogenesis, known as NEAT, which can be roughly translated as your everyday movement. Now, there is little you can do to alter your metabolic rate, and there's certain foods that have a higher thermic effect than others, namely protein. But you can do a lot to increase your NEAT. If you compare an office worker with a worker, say in agriculture, the agricultural worker can expend up to double the amount of calories in a day than an office worker. Over the week, that's a heck of a big difference. So in the initial stages, think about what you can do to increase your physical activity in your daily life. So this can include walking further to work, get your 10,000 steps in, committing to always taking the stairs, have a stand-up desk, crank out an exercise like no more than 10 reps every time you make a hot drink, do some lunges when texting, do some desk mobility drills every hour whilst at work, or do some foam rolling drills when watching TV. There are loads of things you can do to increase your physical activity. And isn't it good to know it is not imperative for you to be crawling in a pool of your own sweat out of a gym in order to lose weight? So to conclude, the best exercise to do when losing weight is it doesn't matter. So do whatever you enjoy and are likely to sustain, because when exercise is vastly important is when you want to maintain your new body size. So as a bonus, what would I advise for sustainable weight loss for a busy professional? Well, simply what I advise in the first stages of my health protocol online personal training. In the initial stage, I advise to focus on your nutrition, your psychology around self and relationship to food, and increase your physical activity daily, and then 3 or 4 times a week, complete mobility or core work 15 to 20 minute routines. This sets your body and mind up for the future a lot more than thinking you have to eliminate all the foods you like and thrashing your body on a weekly basis. So that concludes this video. If you want more information on the Health Protocol online training, you can click here, and be sure to remember to subscribe to this channel. I really appreciate it when you do. Thank you.